You guys watched the last video? If you didn't, it's okay. Here's the most important part from it. Alright, now that you're up to speed on why the truck is ass up, let's get to work checking out what's wrong with it. Ignore that, we'll get to that in the next video, or at the end of this video. I'm 99% sure that the U-joint straps are just trashed, and they probably got stretched out a bunch during the whole happening. So I just got back from Vato Zone picking up a couple more. These things were like $8 a piece. And then we are going to throw in this drive shaft. It's supposed to be rated for like 700 or 800 horsepower. I'm not there, so hopefully that overkill will definitely come in handy. But first things first, let's see what's actually wrong with it, because the entire like yoke and everything could be just totally mushroomed and totally destroyed. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that I can get the truck like back together today and move it out of the garage so we can, oops, so we can start work on this thing. All right, we're under the truck now. First thing I noticed is both ears of the can you see that? Both ears of the yoke are intact, and both straps are on the yoke here. It definitely looks like this one's stretched out a bunch. I don't know if that happened before or after it came out. These, well, I was just turning one of them. One of them was just finger tight, so that's probably our culprit. Is that was just loose enough to where it backed out a little bit, gave it some slop, and it started just pounding itself apart. So that's kind of what I'm thinking happened. I don't know for sure, but I think the yoke is salvageable. I don't feel it mushroomed over anywhere. Thankfully the bolts and the straps took most of the damage. You can see right there where it scratched up the gas tank shield a little bit. Luckily there is that shield there, because this is just a plastic gas tank. It would have just shredded right through it. And it dinged this exhaust hanger a bit and popped that up out of the way. Everything else looks good. So that's kind of where we're at. I think everything's salvageable here. Honestly, this drive shaft could probably be reused. Like, the U-joint turns in it pretty easily still, but it's a weak point. I've got that built one already, so I might as well just throw that in while we're here. Alright, so right there is the stock drive shaft. Right here is the new one. Mucho beefier. Looks like it's about a ½ inch longer, but it should still work. I don't know, actually, because that would be pretty tight, to be honest. I'm gonna have to get some actual measurements, because it would be pretty tight, because you can see right about there is where it rides in the transmission. That's 3/4 of an inch. If that center line difference is that 3/4 of an inch, when I go over a bump, it'll bottom this out. So that could be an issue. I think that I would at least be able to throw this in there and move the truck around. I guess all I can do right now is swap that yoke over, take some measurements, throw it in, take some more measurements, and then just kind of see where that puts us, because if it's only like a 1/4 inch or so from the, like, bottoming out in the transmission, then it's not gonna work. So I'm going to get that swapped over. Hopefully that'll fit on this U-joint. If not, that sucks. But I'm gonna see if it does. If it does, we'll throw it in there, see how it works, and hopefully it works fine. Cause this truck just, it fights me, man. This truck has never given me anything. It's made me work for every step of this. Alright, so got the yoke off. I was looking at some of these needles because I noticed one of them looked pretty short, and it looks like a couple of them are broke. There's a chance I could have done that when I was taking it off. I was trying to be pretty gentle on things, but you know, there's always that chance. So I don't know if that was broken beforehand or afterhand. So I'm gonna get this cap knocked out. We'll get the other drive shaft over here on the bench. Fuck, I need to clean this bench. And then once we get that on, we'll throw it in the truck. All right, between you and me, I wasn't sure if that yoke was gonna fit, but we got it on there. It's a little tight this way. I think that could just be from it sitting around for a while, but I mean, it moves freely. It's just a little tight. I don't know. We'll just have to kind of play it by ear. I think once it's in the truck, it'll be fine. I didn't have any grease on hand to grease it up, otherwise I would have. But let's at least throw it in the truck, see if it'll even work. But I really think it'll work. I think. All right, we're back under the truck. Got the drive shaft all back together, aside from 2 bolts. I gotta tighten them up. But with the truck still being like technically on the ground, it's not jacked up. I can't turn the wheels, so I can't maneuver the drive shaft the way I need to. So I can't tighten those ones up just yet. I'll have to wait to do that. But the drive shaft's all in there. It seems to fit great. I was gonna film the install, but I forgot. So let's go and try to take a look at the yoke and see how much stick out we have. Hopefully there's a pretty good amount, and then we won't have to worry about it bottoming out. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but you can probably see it better than I. Oh, there's plenty. Oh, there's tons. Hell yeah, dude. That's damn near 2 fingers. That's at least 1 inch. Sick. All right. I had to get out from under that truck for a second. But we got the thing all together. I just have to get the jack back under the rear end so I can get it off these ramps and actually rotate the tires enough to tighten all those U-bolts, or not U-bolts, the U-joint strap bolts. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll get the thing dropped back on the ground and then probably call it a day, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this thing real quick. Actually, scratch that. All my jack stands are being used right now, and I'm not trying to land this truck with just 1 jack under the diff while I'm trying to rotate it sideways. Recipe for disaster. So I'll finish that up tomorrow. It's getting late. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But that means I can tell you about this thing. Let me just start off by saying it's not mine, but it is a 1980 Camaro. I don't know what model. It could be a base, could be Z28, who knows. The guy bought it as a roller, but it came with a 355 that we're not gonna use, and supposedly a built turbo 350, and that's supposed to be a 2500 stall converter. It is really a pretty clean car. Whoever painted it took the time to do it pretty dang good. Complete interior car, just needs some dumb trim pieces like the armrest put back on, things like that, door handles, window cranks. But it is a floor shift car, so that's nice. Anyway, the guy just wants a nice, reliable hot rod that he can drive pretty much every day this summer and just turn heads and get decent mileage. It's not a race car, it's a kind of daily hot rod. So it's going to be, aside from air conditioning, it's gonna be just a nice basic cruiser. I'll go more in depth in the next video because I'm probably gonna get started on this pretty quickly. Just basic overview, 80 Camaro, really nice paint. I like this color. And it's gonna be a build that any of you guys can do. It's gonna be a budget build, but we're gonna try and do it nice. We're gonna try and do it as right as we can. And we're gonna use a lot of off-the-shelf parts, which I think a lot of you guys will appreciate. So I'm excited for it. I'm going to make a list of parts that we need for it and then start ordering them. So I hope you guys are excited for that and for this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Keep watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time.